with this because I'm texting my friend that's at the Daytona 500.
He needs to bring himself back to work. Hey, everybody. How are y'all? I don't even know if there's probably not even. So in case, like, y'all, who won, Sean? It might be a spoiler alert.
It was William Byron won. One of Chase Elliott's teammates. Two of his teammates finished 1-2. On the restart, Chase tried to go high and create a third line, and it was a slow line. He ended up finishing like 20th.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. That's cool. I mean, because that's literally probably the only one I knew that was racing. Watching our own ad. Hey, Clancy, how are you? Karen, Joss, Andy. It's good to see you guys. Thank you. I wanted to be punk. Elsie, she's smart. I wanted to be kind of half goth, half punk rock without, you know, being too dark.
Look, there's Chuck's seats.
Really?
Good,
Those are good seats.
This was my buddy's seats at the Daytona 500. That was his view.
That I didn't bring all those papers.
Oh, you want me to go grab them?
We're not. Yeah, they're on the bed. We're not going to get into them yet, but
well, we're getting into them, just not yet.
Right, we're getting into them. It's funny. I just wanted to read the high school essay that someone turned into a court.
Normally, we only go live about once a week or once every 10 days, but it was a very telling weekend. End of the week and then through the weekend. Mandi talked with a bunch of people that she either's never talked to or hadn't talked to lately.
There's some people that are like totally different than you would expect them to be. Thank you. Hey, Loretta. But 100%. There's people trashing good friends, and it's on the bed.
It's this one.
No, it's on the bed.
Okay.
That's the other thing we're working on to compare the two filings because they're like verbatim. So, hey, Kelly, Samantha likes to play attorney, you know, you guys. Hey, Stitching. She likes to play lawyer, and she's not very good at it. So now that I've printed some of them, I knew I wanted to, Stitching. I wanted to, but not quite this. Of note, though, before we get into that, Sam has been doing a few live streams to do damage control. One of which was her fiance. And they were going to vibe off each other and try to do some.
Oh, my God, yeah.
It was dumb. It was really sad. And then the one today was even sadder. Didn't see the whole thing, but saw some of it. It is, my favorite is that this too will pass. She always says that, this too will pass.
Like it's a kidney stone or something.
Yeah. I'm like you're not a leader.
They get all religious, like this too will pass, you know, like.
Yeah, you're not some sort of cult leader. Matter of fact, now you, if you look to your left and your right, nobody's there.
The thing about Samantha now is that when she would, so they lost, so YaBa lost to Ron, to Negs, lost the EPO.
About a year?
No, it was June, so it was about 9 months ago.
Oh, that just happened 9 months ago?
I thought it was filed June. I'm trying to figure that all out.
I know that YaBa tried to take one out against him, and she had an attorney, Manning. Ron was pro se, and
Manning, a bona fide attorney.
It was her own filing too.
Her filing.
She drew it up and filed it, and she couldn't substantiate
lost
it.
to Negs pro se. One of the things that I would always say to somebody is never go into one of these things without a lawyer. And if you have a lawyer and the other person doesn't, it's almost, the thing with YaBa was like the only time I've ever seen somebody with a lawyer lose to somebody pro se.
Anybody can come in here. You're totally okay.
Who's in here? Who's in here?
No, it's just.
I'm just kidding. I'm playing.
Loretta said your escape from former life was greater than the escape from Alcatraz. She is Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs. Hey, Nelson, you changed your Avi.
Man, I need to get out of these troll accounts.
Oh my gosh.
It's so funny. If you get the right troll account and you start commiserating with people that hate you and they have no idea, it's pretty fun.
You know what I don't understand, you guys? So if when Samantha talks about having connections in Florida, her daddy, judge, lawyer, No, her daddy lawyer.
Who still
brother
believes
judge.
that though?
Well, did they not fill out that? They didn't fill. They didn't do this for you.
They didn't help her.
They didn't help their little one out and make sure that this wasn't a joke.
So there's probably a few people that are in the chat or who may watch this later and say, why the fuck are you guys sticking your nose into it? Why do we have a say here?
Because she put us in it.
One of her exhibits to the judge was one of our live streams.
And she filed in here about, she tried to throw everyone in here. So, it's random. It's like when I'm looking at the things that she wrote, and I'm not an attorney, I'm certainly not but I'm looking at it and I'm going,
hey, Misty,
this just doesn't seem like what, that someone who knew what they were doing would file.
No, this is what.
And she also put YaBa's youngins in it.
She didn't care. She didn't spare anybody.
You doxed her youngins.
Yeah.
Not that it matters,
Yeah.
but you did. Hey, Mama Ricky.
See, now that this is 4 or 5 days down the road, I can see Sam just smoking up and coming up with this master plan, like, I'm going to add everyone in this, and we're going to get DC Media Girl first, and it'll set the precedence for everybody that's in this lawsuit, everybody that's mentioned, and we'll take them down one at a time.
Yeah,
that's what she
divide and conquer. So what these are these the documents that were sent to Clara that Sam filed? So Clara has put them out on her Twitter. She has a Rumble. If y'all want to check that out,
you can
see them out there too. So, but you guys know Arabia, right? She is a friend of mine. She hasn't been friends with Samantha in 2 years. We were in the apartment, so 3 years, something like that.
Ago.
No contact with her, no nothing, has nothing to do with it. And this is what she puts in this document that she literally just filed like 3 weeks ago. She put on September the 2nd, 2020, I was granted an order of protection against, she put her other name, but it's Arabia. And Arabia doesn't care. Billy Fulton in Meade County, Kentucky, case number da-da-da. This order of protection remained in place for 1 year. Fulton is not and never has been a content creator on any social media platform. Who the hell cares?
No, not relevant.
Totally not relevant.
It's like.
And the next one says, Fulton is a former friend I had known for over 30 years in my personal private life. The judge don't care. They don't give a shit about how long you were friends. Fulton has a history of threatening me with physical harm and violence since our friendship ended in 2020. She has not heard from her about her anywhere. Nowhere has she had any sort of contact with Samantha.
Do it.
And so the testimony and evidence presented in the September 2nd, 2020 hearing in Meade County, Kentucky included text messages from Fulton to where she said she was coming to my apartment to beat my ass and bust me in my mouth from the document. So, testimony and evidence included in the transcript of a video recording, said whatever she said back then. And it said, what it said was that I went straight to that bitch's house, directly to her house. I went and knocked on the door. I pulled her out. We started fighting and she fell from the 2nd story balcony. If I want to fight somebody, I'm going to. That absolutely did not happen.
This is the one that I like. Talking about Clara, you learned about Arabia and my history with her sometime on or about 22 December 2022 when Mandi Curley, and then she puts our address, contacted Clara on her now terminated YouTube channel and publicly left a comment to DM me and I will get you the goods. And then underneath it says the goods being.
That's what it said.
Right here. Asserted publicly
the goods she provided were Fulton's phone number and a formal introduction. Sam, that doesn't have shit to do with anything. You don't own every friend in the world. You have no idea. And did you really think the judge was going to say, let's pause, clerk, can you go pull the evidence from that of Arabia's. Arabia didn't make the threats to you, supposedly, that you're claiming. It was Clara. So why would they give a shit about Arabia's past? To answer your question, Mama Ricky, no, they were not lovers. Arabia's actual words were, "I don't like fat white girls."
That was her words.
That was her words, and she'll stand behind it. That is not her cup of tea. So like we've always said, when Sam asserted they had been in some sort of intimate relationship, and that's what the domestic part, that's what the domestic part became and whatever.
Yeah, she had to lie to the judge.
So
did
you tell YaBa y'all were sleeping together? Because this crosses over when she was hunting you down and when y'all crossed over. So did she know that you were having a relationship with Arabia while you were also talking to her? Did she know that, or did she know you lied?
Yeah.
One way or the other. I just curious, just wanted to know.
But she had to make it, in order to get the EPO granted, she had to file it as a domestic.
Right.
A domestic meaning someone that she's in a romantic relationship with. It becomes a domestic. And there's a whole different criteria when it's one of the, it's a domestic situation.
She entered, so Clara had made a post in New Albany, Indiana, some time back that said, it just had the bridge. So I'm not going to show who liked it, but it just has the bridge. That's it. That's all it is.
Is that an exhibit?
That was an exhibit that was submitted. So the one thing that she did, just like the bullshit that the Beast did, is she tried to act like she owns that town. Like New Albany is her town and nobody can come into it.
So right there, what Mandi is saying and how we'll go back and forth was, see, Sam coached my ex-wife on her case against Mandi and I. And when you take that transcript, not the transcript, but the filing, and you look at the filing that she made against us in this filing, it's
verbatim.
So the same.
There's a couple of things, the whole she was in my town thing, that you can't go anywhere close to whatever. But what she didn't show anywhere, what she tried to loosely tie together was somehow my involvement, her past with Arabia, somehow that presented a threat to Clara. But there was nothing where Clara had ever threatened her. So that's where it fell apart. So she submitted 150 exhibits or something
and
like that. And
all these exhibits, 95% of the exhibits are YouTube fodder. Live streams, things that don't matter in this situation. Sam lives in this world. This is her thing right here.
Thank you.
So she's filing a case in real world case in trying to use as evidence YouTube stuff.
I can't believe she actually bored a judge with this. It says, I hope you both watched Angry Pistachio tonight. There was a ton of support for Mandi in the chat. We were in there the other day. Sometimes I end up in chats and I don't really know who they are. This one, because we've come from a different side. She nailed it with whoever she was on panel with. It could have been Gigi. Was it Gigi? Okay.
And Mandi and I, honestly, why did we even click on it? Because of the title?
Because of the title?
Because of the title. I had never spoken to Gigi, never watched anything that he's been part of or his channel, and merely knew of him.
Right.
So I didn't even know it was him.
One of the other things she tried to say was that Clara was using some sort of intimidation tactic by posting this stamp. This was on her, I guess it was on her Instagram, with a stamp on it, right?
What was that?
She was trying to say that it was like a false,
like a fake,
an intimidation, and it absolutely was not. It was when Clara went to get the transcripts in New Albany. This is Clara's copy, but this is when she asked for the transcripts. That was that stamp. So it wasn't, she did file something. It wasn't intimidation. Now, my favorite part, hold on.
Okay.
She put up this map, right? It wasn't even really a map. It was like a Google Earth. And I'm going to show you the picture in a second, but it says, Frank stated on this live stream that she had driven to Floyd County, Indiana on June 5th, 2023, and filed a cause of action against me. This is where the stamp comes in.
That's right, Karen. I was talking about Gigi meaning gaining ground.
Yeah. Frank never stated what the nature of this court filing was. Frank would frequently taunt me on social media by saying, "Open your door, Sam, to be served." Frank said repeatedly that the Floyd County Sheriff Department was attempting to serve me a summons resulting from my June 5th, 2023 filing. Well,
She's saying, no, I didn't. We hear you. We're just saying what she said.
that's what it said. But let me tell you something. But Clara, I'm correct, right? When she was saying that you were taunting her, it was a stamp that you used on a request for transcripts when you went. That is the purpose of you. Yeah. That's the purpose of you going to the courthouse. You have to do it in person in Meade County. No, Floyd County. Yeah, you have to do it. So she had to go there to get it. So that was the stamp. It wasn't taunting anybody. Right?
Right.
And boy, those transcripts can be expensive there. But guess what? Al's
going to get
raised the money to order the transcripts so that everyone's going to be see what was truly said.
She raised the money for it, so you know she.
And I heard what she said when she said about the financials being read, and Al said, "Well, I wonder how Mandi felt when you read her entire bankruptcy." Good on you. That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yup.
So that's pretty much everything through here. Now we can discuss. With everybody.
So moving forward with this, Owl's going to get the transcript. Go watch that. But over there on the farms, what was the post that we said? So Kiwi Farms has now let Sam know that they're going to follow every single bit of what Clara intends to do going forward.
And Clara, to be clear, Clara has never filed anything against Sam. As far as stupid EPOs go, nothing. The only thing that she has filed that's in process now has nothing to do with an EPO. So
what Sam has always been, and she's trying to do it now.
Yeah, I do too.
She tries to do her damage control with her tweets saying, this too shall pass. I'm not going to, due to.
Oh, okay.
What'd she say? Due to the my legal counsel, which she didn't listen to, or she would have never filed this, because even Manning said that she didn't agree with it.
It was unwise.
Yeah, it was unwise for her to do what she did. That she's trying to, circle the wagons and trying to do damage control. But the farms over there has said, no, we're going to watch this. You don't get to do damage control. And every single time, every bit that comes up on this that we get our hands on, we're going to put out there. That's how I read that. Yeah, that's how I read that. That's not verbatim what they said, but it's kind of what she's not going to be able to retreat into the bushes here. The Kiwi Farms is what it is, but it's a pretty funny, well-known kind of site where you can go to. And they basically said, we're going to latch on to this part of it and keep you informed, which is pretty cool.
Clara, clarify this. I was wondering about this. It says Judge Scott on 9/14/2023 granted a preliminary injunction and TOP, a temporary order against Frank in this case, calling Frank vile in her public actions and words against the plaintiff. Oh, she's not talking about that. Sam brought up some other bullshit case that has nothing to fucking do with this. Has nothing to do with it. That is so stupid.
What? Where is...
So where is the threat, Sam? Where's the threat against Clara? Where is it? Because this is not a threat. No. You don't use random third parties.
When you don't use YouTube bullshit, unless you can pin something exactly. You can't go and say, well, Sean and Mandi did this. Exhibit 39A was a whole freaking live stream where the only thing I got out of this, I'm seeing the picture, I had a Fleetwood Mac shirt on. I've worn that a couple of times, but if you guys want to see what exhibit was trying to be entered there, just go back through our vlogs. It has to have been within the last year.
And it wasn't even a clip. It was a full live stream.
Live stream. So there you go.
I suppose she thought, I'm just here to tell the truth. I'm sick of her word salad. Yeah, so Claire's never threatened her. And Pistachio is the creator formerly known as Peanut. That's where that came in. So again, anybody that is open, has their eyes open to this bullshit that she's done, that used to believe in her or whatever, like she's a no good, dirty scoundrel, and now everyone sees it. Even Kiwi Farms sees it. Kiwi Farms, I don't know a whole lot about it. I do now. They're on it. They're on it.
Yeah, I mean,
they're on it.
They're putting their focus on her, and that's cool.
So then, like, when it says, this is so stupid. The Frank learned about, okay, Frank does not know Fulton in her personal, private, or professional life. The fuck does that have to do with anything?
But
Frank
the point
learned
is that
about Fulton and my history with her sometime on or about December the 22nd, 2022. And we said that she contacted on her now terminated YouTube channel. So I know you said the goods part, but the part above it is, how are you tying all of these people together? Right. I can't even imagine the look on the judge's face. The judge had to be like, just waiting for it to be done. This
document right here, when you were in 11th grade and you've spent all week, hanging out with your friends. And smoking and, hanging out. And then you realize that you have an essay due the next day. That's what this is. That's what these documents are.
And when it says list the people that were present during the incident, meaning the incident that has created fear or harm, she lists herself, Telfer, Clara, and Corey Ruth. Present where?
Yeah.
Where were they present during this? It's it's incredible to me that they keep... YaBa, how many court cases were you involved in before you got mixed up with Samantha? How many times did you ever filed anything or had anything filed against you prior to Samantha? She is all up in your head, and you're not going to see it till you see it.
She's not ready.
You're not going to see it until you see it.
I know that better than anybody. Until you're ready.
Yes.
Until you step out of the, of the cauldron and look at what's going on. I mean, she's smitten. Sam delivered herself to YaBa. Like I said before, brilliant business move.
I think that Sam's in her head and convinced YaBa that if it wasn't for her, she'd be alone. Things like that. Things that these sociopaths do or what have you.
The best version of YaBa is long gone. And will never be back as long as Sam is putting these ridiculous claims, these ridiculous ideas in her head that this is your best life. This is the best version of your life. We know, YaBa's path was to take YouTube and build a channel. Is the opposite of what I chose to do, which was to go in another path and stay on YouTube as a hobby and as to stay in touch and I like to fuck shit. But this is what YaBa was doing to put food in her children's mouth, to keep the roof over their head. Sam is destroying this. She's come right through the door. If you were on the outside looking in, you see these relationships that happen, and somebody like a friend you might have, a relative, a coworker, and you see a change because they start a relationship. They start a different relationship, and you can't really tell them that. You can't tell them what they see.
You guys know that more than anything. How many people tried to tell Sean?
Right.
He would do a vlog and be like, well, this is the way it is, and whatever, when one of the things had happened, and everybody would be like, you got this, you got this.
I've got 20 vlogs that I put on private of me trying to...
Right, and then a day later, she'd be doing her histrionics, and there's Sean there. You know what I mean?
I had nothing... My case, when I was doing those vlogs, it was on... My channel, I didn't monetize it. It was... to be the lead flying monkey in somebody's circus. And the only thing I had to lose at the end of the day was her lame ass, was her crazy ass. What do I have to lose? That was left. And once I lost that, after a while, I started to look back on it. And it's like, that's what's going to happen for YaBa. She's going to have some kind of moment of clarity.
Gigi says, speaking of Al, I can compete with her now that the DNA test came back on our rescue puppy, 91% German Shepherd.
Yay.
That's fucking awesome.
Yay.
But that's that's like Sean knows more than anybody when they get in your head, you know, or convince you of something. But this is the other interesting thing. Okay. So this is funny. So testimony and evidence included social media posts by Fulton made from her verified Twitter account. She doesn't have a blue check. Shut up. Her verified Twitter account. I don't think she does. Saying she was in possession of and threatening to distribute a video of me engaging in a sex act recorded without my knowledge or consent. Says who?
Maybe
people might have taunted that for a while. That's what she's trying to say.
Yeah, those are the goods.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, Samantha. Nobody ever presented that. Nobody ever put that out there. That doesn't exist.
Weed man.
Stop lying.
Yep.
The weed man.
The weed man.
And still had to pay for the weed.
Still had to pay for the weed.
But there is no video. I'm telling you, hand to God, there's no video. So the judge, when he read that, probably went, what? I don't know what to do with it. The judge was like,
you know, I'll digress for 1 second. You know, Mandi and I had a little bit of knowledge of this because we were part of it. You know, we weren't all over this. We didn't know everything was going to happen, but we knew there was a couple of exhibits that had our name all over it. And I wish that there were just about 3 or 4 people that I could have talked to or just warned or just said, hey, just wait 10 days. Just wait a week or two. Before you talk to Sam about anything, just wait. And I said, well, I'm not gonna try to contact them and tell them that because any friend of mine knows what Sam has done to Mandi and I and how she what she did to us 18 months ago and what we showed everybody. But you know, the things that she does when she went real life, it was like, hey, if you haven't learned that that's how Sam is by now, that you can just get burned like everybody else has. I'm by no means like a victim, but when I was in the hospital having the blood infusions and the blood transfusion and the iron infusions or whatever, she was releasing merch that said KYS ATX, her and OLOP. And she's sitting in the hospital getting better, and my mom is like, this crazy girl's just emailed us again.
Yeah, that she already, and it was insane or whatever. So those of you who have been on the fence about her, like you're like, oh, I'm gonna bail, I'm whatever. Don't be scared of her. She's not gonna. She might dox you if you've sent her PayPals and stuff. She probably will do that. But know this: she's not gonna do anything to you. She is behind the screen. Right? I have been probably the closest to her. I'm going to even say closer than YaBa because you know why? I knew the real Sam, not the one that's pretending to be your girlfriend. I know the real Sam. You don't know her at all. She got vulnerable and honest with me, and you have no idea. And that's why she's pissed off, and I'll never tell that stuff. Hey,
Presley. Sam was, for whatever reason, I know I'm going back in the past and I'm sounding redundant. She was very, very threatened and hurt by Mandi and I's union. I too was friends with Sam. I think I'd mentioned this before when Sam and Mandi, Mrs. ATX for this, was doing the boardroom, right? That was their channel. When it got monetized, Sam didn't tell her first, she told me first. And I think we were talking, and I swear I was on the road going, it doesn't matter.
It was during the jail chat. You said congratulations in a DM. And I had
you
no
were
idea
like, I don't know. But so, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, well, you know, the boardroom got monetized. And Mandi and I at that time were just friends, you know, and quite frankly, not as good of friends with her as I was with Sam.
Yeah.
When whatever she's got going on, and I don't like to diagnose people, but she had 2 friends that got together, and that was enough for her to attack me first. Those of y'all that remember started coming after me. And then when Mandi was like, hey, this is my boyfriend, and then this is my fiance, and then I'm going to be with this guy, then she was done with you as well. And that is the only reason. She can say whatever else she wants to say. But so anyway, we say all this because Mandi knows how that one works.
Yep.
How her methods are. And
I know exactly I mean, we were at the point where sometimes that she would say, when I start acting like this, tell me to knock it off. Like, she was real vulnerable. So, I mean, all of that was discussed, the things that she told me, other than the ones that were fun, the bus boys that she would bang in her husband's car at 2 a.m, just apparently, but the really, really hurtful shit that she told me, I won't tell. It's not.
She won't. And that's, Mandi wouldn't do that to anybody that has confided in
Loretta
her
said
these things.
when she made the ATX KYS merch, it literally made me violently ill. That says everything I would ever need to know about the piece. Yeah. I mean, it's, and when you see it and you wait for it, you don't have to do anything because they're doing it themselves. We knew that eventually she would burn all these people, to include one that had a fundraiser for her, that she would dick them over. I didn't know that YaBa would dick him over too, but that's whatever. I mean, it's, and then to double down and get mad about a second fundraiser after they had taken the money.
So we've got 60 some people in the chat. A lot of y'all have been here for a while. Some of y'all have been here for several years. Think of one person, put it in the chat if you can think of it, that she's worked with, that she's collabed with, that she was quote unquote friends with, content creator, that she is still will even talk to her.
Yeah.
There's one that I can think of. That's Randy and Wendy. We'll get to them in a minute.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, Clancy, I'm so sorry. You got hit by a car. Oh
What
my
the
God.
hell?
I can't. Yeah, that's awful. I'm so sorry. Truly, I am.
Yeah, well, if you get hit by a car, Clancy, the last thing on your mind is going to be this drama stuff anyway. I hope you're feeling better. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
Yikes.
That's scary. It probably not literally, but made you realize what's truly important and things like that. That's awful. Before we transition, so people are talking about here, you probably don't know about it. The beast, that dirty, nasty beast, is appealing to children right now, talking about her OnlyFans, letting them in her chat, shaking her things.
So same shit, different day.
Yeah, but very
Same
predatory. That bitch is gonna end up in jail.
Yep.
That whole, I mean, Sean's always said that's where she's gonna end up. When it's all, she doesn't have a handler.
She doesn't listen to
keeper.
anybody. When I was in that situation, she stayed out of jail because I kept a lawyer on retainer. When I left, she didn't maintain that. She ended up going to jail once. She doesn't have anybody. I don't think. I mean, do you guys? Is there any thing that you guys can see? Y'all keep up with her that my ex stepdaughter is even involved in her life anymore. I don't know, but I've heard that she's done some vile stuff just in the last 24 hours that may get her. Without giving her any attention.
Boho and Robin, stay gone. She's not gonna change. She's showing that she's not gonna change. You know what I mean? Like, that's just all there is to it.
There's an eerie similarity, though. Like we've said it at the beginning of the stream. We'll say it again. This thing that we read, this filing, and the filing that we received when we had to go to court, it was almost like it was written by the same person. It was, a 10th grade essay that was put together.
Jocelyn is the one that pointed that out.
Yeah.
And I was like, she's
that
right.
was Josh. Josh was like, this was like a 10th grade essay that someone threw together like a night before it was due.
And Sean added, when they get really stoned.
And you guys remember the high school days? Yeah, like I said, and you're like, oh my God, that shit's due tomorrow. Okay, I got this. A couple more bong hits, and I got this. And then that's what it looks like.
I'm going to ask this for Mama Ricky, but I'm going to code it a little bit because I don't want to. Sean, I have a serious question. How does it feel that you were married to a
Where's that question? Yeah, how does it feel? I'm not with her anymore. This is the rear view mirror. It's just like
But for her means, if she needs supply, material or narcissistic, she'll get it from anybody.
I mean, like when I was there, it's like YaBa with Sam. I couldn't see, I didn't want to see it. And then when I left, I left. So how does it feel that the point that the key word in this was, And I feel great where I sit right now tonight.
It says she might as well have started with Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines doxing as. Like, shut the fuck up, Sam. That's so. I'm gonna tag that. Yeah.
The Merriam-Webster.
Let me tell
Did you get it?
Yeah. Who the super mod is now is Roger. Roger is also verily Veronica.
But hold on a second.
Roger Brown.
So, Judge, in case you didn't know, the definition
That's
of
what I'm
doxing
saying.
is, and what if they put like a bibliography, and then the judge would go, "Did you use Cliff Notes for this?"
And well, I mean, Fulton is never has been a content creator on any social media platform. Who the fuck cares? Who puts that in a leak? She was like, she took a hit. And she goes, "Oh, let me get this down before I forget."
She got done with this and she put her pen down and went, "YaBa, babe, let's go eat. Let's go get something to eat. I just wrote my masterpiece right here. First, we're going to get DC Media Girl and all these people that I included one at a time.
They'll
we're going to take them down.
By the time this case is over, we'll have them all in handcuffs.
We'll have them all in handcuffs.
YaBa, I got this. I got this.
Tomahawk Sean is over there all the time. He's talking about he's still not in handcuffs. Well, by God, this document's going to guarantee it. That he'll be in handcuffs.
Mom Ricky want to make sure you knew he wasn't judging you at all, or she wasn't. No,
I got you, Queen. I didn't think that. It's a fair question. It was a blunt question, and the answer to that is
Mama
I
Ricky
feel
feels
great
very,
today,
very
right here.
strong. Thank you.
Yeah.
We got a happy Black History Month. Right on. Is it this month?
It is February.
I need to be better about retaining that. Like just different. Like breast cancer awareness month and stuff like that. I need to retain. That's my next goal. Retain things like that better. Roger Brown. I'm gonna give you a couple seconds. You nasty poop in a bucket. Roger Brown lives in the middle of nowhere. He lets his cats just reproduce, and they don't look healthy. They never do. They're very sickly. He appears to like them okay, but they never get fixed. They never get vet treat. Never get anything. So they got fleas. They've got.
So the best thing you can do, Roger, the best thing you can do, bro, is just get involved and be associated with a freaking malignant narcissist. That's gonna fix your problems.
Yeah. She's trying to backtrack tonight with an apology to Mark. She's trying to avoid a lawsuit. It might be too late. She called him a predator.
Yeah,
you can't be calling people that that's defamation, hands down.
And you know what? You know what? This dude doesn't know. He doesn't know.
I'm sure he doesn't know.
He doesn't know. He's making his content.
Just like Dr. Phil doesn't.
What's he got? He's got
sewer mark.
How many subs has this guy got? A couple million?
5
million
and
subs.
And he's grown them all in 2 years.
Yes, in 2 years, 5 subs in 2 years.
5 million, yeah.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that he's got administrators and moderators and legal people that look at those comments and they're gone or they're dealt with while he's out filming the next thing. He doesn't even know that she exists.
Yeah.
She doesn't know that. But that legal team will come down.
But let me tell you what I've been talking with my girls behind the scenes, my ladies, and Sean, I'm going to get him to do it. Mark's things for getting on his show, and he'll interview anybody. It doesn't just have to be people on Skid Row. He's had Amish, he's had all kinds. He's going to make a video and talk about some of the things that he's been through in the Army. Not you, Beast. No one fucking cares.
Yeah.
But like the Army and just his history and how that came to, how the ins and outs with that. And it's kind of some of the stuff that he pulled himself up and got through. Like I said, not you, Beast. Nobody cares about you. But so he's going to make a video and we're going to submit it. How about that?
I think Presley wanted a D at the end of that. Weird. Weird.
Yeah, he called him up, said he was trafficking Rebecca.
I mean,
why is everything so deviant with her? Everything's deviant.
Yeah.
Everything.
It's the truth.
Anybody who doesn't agree with her or anyone it's okay, Brett. Anyone she doesn't, they're somehow deviant. They want her. They want to kill her. They want to do this. They want to do that.
When you look at the way that TT maneuvers and you look at the way Sam maneuvers, they do a lot of the same things, only Sam doesn't sexualize everything that she does. But a lot of their playbooks,
they're both very self-conscious about their weight. Yeah, very self-conscious.
Very deviant in their actions. The thing that Sam has is that she's got she's got sort of this weird kind of criminal charisma about her that people, that she's able to use people until she really screws them over.
Yeah. And then she tries to say that all those civil cases on her record isn't a rap sheet. Yes, it is.
What is it?
Anything that much shit that comes up on a background is absolutely a rap sheet. I mean, that's all there is to it. And how does YaBa see the extent of what she's done?
She doesn't.
And not think that it's fucked up.
I think one of the things that she could do is go look at the growth of her page, look at the, what do you call them, the algorithms or whatever, and look at some of the trends. Look how she's trended since, how long have they been together? About a year?
No, they've been together since
No, a year shorter than us. It was about a year after we got together.
Or so.
And, YaBa was very, very rarely doing drama, like attacking drama. She'd review Chantel. I mean, she's got a name. And that's what she did. She built her channel. No matter we're not here nor there on what that is, if it's legit or not. I'm just saying it had been a long, long time. I didn't even know where YaBa went. But she went and built the channel. But look how often now in the last 3 years or 2.5 years or however long they've been together, that she's losing her shit on her streams, that she's doing these little pop-up stuff, and just the one that they came on when Pistachio and Gigi were on, and they came on and she was triggered immediately by what they were saying.
They were playing her live stream.
Right. So they were sniping Pistachio's live stream.
No. Yeah, both ways. She was
and YaBa completely lost her shit. Just lost her center.
She lost it. And then
they had to shut it down.
No, it got taken down.
Well, it got taken down, and then they had to come back on. That's the YaBa that I remember back in the day. She can't do drama. That's the other thing. She probably has said to Sam, all right, babe, you do the drama, I'll do this, and you take care of the drama. YaBa has never, ever been able to do drama per se, like drama community stuff. She gets too pissed off, and it's quite frankly, it's hilarious.
When she gets pissed off, nothing is off limits, and Sam just kind of sits there quiet while she unloads. My other question is, you know how YaBa made that thing, and she said, I wear the pants in the house. I run things. Well, then why are you letting your girl try to take out fraudulent EPO orders, everybody in freaking Indiana?
I can answer that. I can answer that. Because as quickly as she does damage control on one, the crazy bitch is doing something different.
Yeah.
Right?
This is what's like, okay, so since everything has so Sam has tried to file an EPO on Arabia. She got 1 year granted because she was lying that they were in a relationship. Probably was scared of Arabia, but she got, YaBa filed against Ron, dismissed. Filed against Clara, dismissed. How many times do you have to go at it before you realize talking shit online is not against the law?
It's not against the law.
If you don't watch it, you won't see it. Right?
I don't know. I mean, that's kind of like the perpetual spot where Sam is in. She would tell you. There's many quotes and tweets by her that's,
yes.
I win lawsuits. It's literally what I do. I'm a gangster on the internet. This is what I do.
And her lawsuits are when she fucks people over for a check, and then when they take her to court, she finds some whatever so that she can fuck them over.
There was a tweet by somebody that kind of quoted Sam, and Sam said that she was born to do this YouTube stuff. This is what she was born to do. Well, right now she's saying what she's born to do is to be a colossal hemorrhoid on everybody's ass in this community. You won't go away, and you just sit there and fester. That's what she was born to do.
Yeah. It's pretty incredible how far downhill she's gone. And
she's been the same. She's dragging YaBa down to her level.
But Sam didn't used to be this messy.
This is what people are starting to figure out about Sam. And it's the same thing that I used to tell people when I got out of that relationship over there. I would tell people, look, don't go to her level. If you sit in there and you interact, she will pull you down.
Oh, that's the beast.
She will pull you down into the sewer where it's her playground. And then you're in an element. How many people, I remember like Sunshine Sally and other people was like, I can't believe that I said the things that I said, because they would go into her. She pulls you to her level. Sam is the same way. You can't get down on that level with her. and yap with her because she's been doing this her entire life. If you go down to that level, then it's now a home game for Sam. Don't let her you got to ignore her. You got to like maybe review her, but don't dialogue straight with her because that's what she wants. And then it's a home game for her.
Yeah, that's the extent of like her complexity. It's not that complex.
Unless she's really, really high, like she was when Hussey talked to her, and then she just can't keep up.
She had to mute and boot. She was like, hold on.
And that's been happening to her more and more lately as well.
Press is like, YaBa hasn't been live. Does she not have enough money for internet? I think she's probably embarrassed.
Yeah, I mean, what is she going to do at this point? Every time they're turning on, looking at Twitter, every time they're looking at their feed, everybody's talking about them. Everyone's coming down on them.
Yeah, Sam did use the beast for views and pretended to care about her. Always. And then she realizes she can't do anything with her either. Karen says, Sean, I have a question. Has the beast ever sent a broken phone in to be repaired that you know of?
That I know of?
Yeah.
Sent it where?
Like someplace to get repaired.
I don't think so.
She just moves along?
Throws it to the side and gets another one.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, Mandi taught me, to jump back on a phone plan. As long as you pay your bills, your phone stays on.
Well, yeah, our calls would drop, and I was like, what phone service do you use? Cricket? And he was like, shut up, it's not Cricket. And I said, well, what is it? And he was like, it's, what is it called?
Straight Talk.
Straight Talk. You buy the cards at Walmart. And I was like, well, I have a suggestion. My soon-to-be ex has told me to get the fuck off his
and we have an extra line, so it's yours.
Yeah, well, and really, technically, in the middle of a divorce, you can't cut anything off. Like but I was like, sure. And they split our account, and then I added him to it. But I was like, why can't I be on your cell phone? You want to pay my cell phone?
But I'm the one who made you go get an iPhone. She was an Android person.
I was total Android, and he was like, if we FaceTime, and I was like, what is that? And he was like, you have to have an iPhone to do it. And so I was like, I need an iPhone.
Yep.
Catching Sam live, and I had a whiteboard with writing people's names, and I thought, am I watching Romper Room? Did I miss something with Sam and YaBa?
It's
hey,
true.
Carlos.
She used to be real. That's what she would do.
Very intelligent. She's so intelligent. She thinks she is, but you know what the truth is? She doesn't think she's that intelligent, which is why she acts like she does. She thinks because she's a smooth talking bullshitter that can do a simple search for stuff that she goes to ground every once in a while. Loretta. And she looks for different. Sometimes it's content creators. She'll poke one here and there. Sometimes it's not, but she wants to make a circle with people that she believes that she can call the shots with. Yeah. If she seeks you out, or if she slips into your DMs, it's because she thinks she's smarter than you. And she thinks that, as long as you're doing the stuff that she does, this triple agent shit. You see her start working with people, but then on her channel, she's talking shit about the people. And then the people are like, I thought we were cool, but you're talking shit about me. She goes, oh, we're cool. I have to talk shit about you to give the impression that I don't like you. But she really is talking shit about them. Yeah. And they're over there thinking, oh, well, she's just talking shit about me. And one of the people that one of the fairly big creators that she's beefing with, Sam does low down dirty bullshit, and she becomes a rogue mod because that's really the only thing that she can fucking do. And, without naming it, I'm telling you, Samantha, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna tell her how to get rid of it. So if you are in this community and you look other content creators, I know exactly how to do it. This was a content creator that Sam was working with. They were, they were bouncing off each other, and then when Sam was done with her, they had a beef. Sam managed to get a rogue mod. This content creator, you might know who I'm talking about. They said people got with her and said, you might want to slide Sam admitted online that she was doing it. To us. Yeah. And so Mandi, ATX, and Sean have had a rogue mod. Why don't you slide into the DMs, her DMs, and see if she can help you out? So she slid into DMs, was like, hey, no harm, no foul. It's just fuckery. Didn't mean to say what stuff I said. And so, yeah, that is exactly right. And the thing that I know about it, since we went through it for so long, it's no high-tech thing to catch him. It's timing. It's not. It's timing. It's timing in a mod that you trust. That you trust. Right, Karen? She's a superstar that found the rogue mod. Karen was the one who found the rogue mod. She found right before we started going live again, she started watching because I was like, I didn't think we still had one, but I didn't know. And she started watching it for a couple of days, and you refresh throughout the day, and finally it popped up. And it's kind of an OG Boyd person, but I don't believe that that's who it is.
Right. She was using that name.
I think that they had long since changed the name of the troll they were using, and they were using that name somewhere else. Or maybe it was that person. I don't know, because the name changes. And so I'm
that's
like,
how you catch them.
I'm like, you just keep clearing out your mods.
Your list.
Yeah. No, I'm saying you clear out your list and then you have to do whatever. But it's a little bit more complicated in the sense that if you keep handing out wrenches to people you don't know and you don't verify their channel, then you've got a slew of people that are going to do it. That was the one lesson we learned. You have to add by email address. You don't go find you've got to add by email address and save.
Yep. And the other thing that happens is you have long-time mods. Like if you have a channel and you've got mods that, someone that's not in your chat in a long time, but they were a mod, and then you have a fallout with them and you forget they were a mod. They could turn into a rogue right there.
They'll go hide their channel immediately.
They'll change the name. You can't remember if you modded them up or took their wrench away, and then they're your rogue mod.
Yep. And you'll never ever see them appear in the mod list. So anyway. Clancy said he's too rough with his phone, and Jocelyn said, I bang on encounters. We were talking about that today. I'm never been a phone breaker when I get frustrated. There's some hot-headed girls and guys that when they get pissed off at something, they smash it or something. Like, it's just like, I'm not, for all of my, quick temper that I used to have, I really don't have it anymore.
No.
But, yeah,
it's
I was never a phone breaker.
When you find somebody and, my anxiety
very
melts
insecure.
away. My anxiety melts away too. I'm not really an angry phone thrower either. It always turns into anxiety, but I don't have it a lot anymore because once you find the person that you're going to be with, it's like, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
And
I was a thrower back in the day. I was a thrower, not at anybody, but I just don't have it anymore.
You don't need to.
I don't get frustrated to that point trying to put, a square peg into a round hole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
That you keep trying to do that, and eventually you're going to lose your temper over time.
Yeah.
Karen, you're right. It says, I think that she's insecure about Sam, that I think she's, I knew it was going to do that. Insecure. Where did I just say it? Anyway, insecure and tries to cover it. She tries to cover it with legal knowledge that she doesn't have. When she takes her notes and she repeats things back and she goes, well, we know this. Well, we can sit there and write dates all day long and recite back a date that something happened. You know what I mean? Like, I can do that. I can, keep it all down and be like, well, what we know is that on July the 4th, you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make you smart, and it doesn't make you a legal eagle.
It's smoke and mirrors, and there's not enough smoke anymore. Or too much smoke, really.
It's good to see you, Clancy. I'm glad you're back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Feeling better.
The beast has probably gotten a dozen. She hands them out.
I know.
No sooner does she
hands them out left and right.
Does she try to fix it, she hands it out. It's incredible to me. And now the only person that returns to her chat to mod and help do whatever, like kiss her ass and do whatever, is creepy old Roger Brown, who's telling her he likes her boobs and stuff, and she's on top of the world when he gets there because she's got no other trusted mods.
He needs to just clean the litter box.
Yeah.
That's what he needs
do y'all
to do.
know? He's a creator. He makes things about. I don't care if they. He makes things about. I don't think I can find him. Videos about her. Now he's singing her praises and then whatever. But so he's trying to explain the other day why it was that even though they seem like they're in a relationship together, that they're not. And hey, people's cup of tea are people's cup of tea. But this is oh boy, and he's played something else. Hold on, it's this one right here. Well, it was either an ad or something. That's him. It was like an ad, or it went to another screen. So, and he makes these little stupid messages to Jeremy's mom and stuff. It's fucking weird, dude. It's weird. Hey, Justin. So that's my point. Like, if that's her new thing, great. Great. I think that's fantastic. Boho and Robin, stay on.
You know what I'm waiting for a reaction from? You remember I used to get on Al because she wouldn't call Sam out. And then, it became a whole thing, blah, 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 blah. Well, now she's out there calling Sam out, right? So there's that. So we have that going for us, right? When is Randy and Wendy going to start calling? They're about the only ones.
Yeah, I'll word
You're
this
going to segue into that?
I'm going to word this one.
Mandy talked to a lot of people.
I talked to a lot of people. It is okay with this person that I say I'm friendly with and talk to, sin. There's no like secret, whatever. I'm not interested in deep, dark secrets. So I'm not in whatever. But I damn near have figured out just through conversation what Samantha and YaBa have on you. Randall.
So is there a reason why
are you going to file an EPO and say that I'm using whatever? Yeah.
What does YaBa have?
Hey, reindeer. Sin is a nice lady. I talked to her about Def Leppard and got more of the thing. Sean could quote exactly which concert she was at because he had known.
So between 1987 and 1988.
Yes.
I saw Def Leppard twice.
Oh, it's good to see you. Sorry.
Once in December of 87 with Queensryche or Tesla, and then again in October of 88, both shows in Atlantic. Queensryche opened up for one, Tesla opened up the other one. And she had some stories that were like, and I'm just hearing what Mandi shared with me. Now, again, Mandi didn't come to me and say all the stuff she talked about. But there was like back and forth years, and she was involved in the same time that I was watching Def Leppard.
And it pretty much falls into thing. I'm not interested there. The story makes sense. I don't give a shit whether Randy and Wendy believe her or not. The fact of the matter is, just like all the other friends that you've lost, Randy, you're a low down, dirty bitch. Wendy, nobody likes you.
Right.
Like I'm finding out that I don't know what they say to you, but everybody thinks that you're pretentious and condescending. Again, you try to speak in a way and talk about things in a way that makes you seem very, what would you call it? Intuitive in the ways of it doesn't. You come across as condescending, judgmental.
She comes across like she doesn't have social skills.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't, like.
That she's lost whatever
she had when she was out as an educator, right? She was a teacher.
She did, yeah.
It seems, anyway, it doesn't matter. But, and one other thing, Mandi isn't going to sit there and divulge all kind of information. I said this before. Like 4 different people when all this started to happen this weekend. Mandi was like, she's on the phone. Who are you talking to? She'd tell me, and I'd be like, really? That person? That content creator? But one of the things that she asked Sin was like, is it okay if we say that we talked and this and that? And she said, yeah.
She said she was fine with it.
The thing with Randy and her friendship, she'll openly admit she was devastating to her. And I was like, so we can just back off and we won't share.
Totally devastating.
We won't share any information. She was like, I don't care. She really didn't.
And I'm like choosing not to.
What she really appreciated was the fact that we said, we want to hear your story.
Presley.
We want it. Remember a few live streams ago, and was like, Randy's sitting there slandering you up and down. We want to hear your story. And she went on Diane's panel.
We said it right here.
And then she, contacted Mandi. And Mandi's Mandi. There's just a slew of people that she talks to. And
Mandi. And it's what I'm finding out is that these people that end up getting smart, usually what it is if the money train stops or they stop bulldogging for Randy, that's when it's just a matter of time before it goes. This last thing they were pretty sure they were gonna toss her out. It became obvious because Sin didn't like Natasha. She held her own.
Right.
Didn't like Natasha.
She's allowed to. And then Wendy, I don't think Wendy really likes anybody that tries to get close to Randy.
Yes.
She's very similar than how she acted with Diane. But
I was able to track back when the bitter nastiness started for Randy, like really like no holds barred, just really shitty, paranoid, and I mean that's not my path, but it's very telling.
Yeah, and
It's
I don't
very
know all the
telling.
details. You know, like I said, I'm not on speakerphone. I'm not.
What she shouldn't have been doing, what Randy
Right.
and Wendy shouldn't have been doing, is being in someone else's chat talking about Sin's son. And Wendy saying things like she's killing off whatever it is that she said. And then they always go, well, I guess that wasn't nice to say. Let's backtrack on that. But they never stop.
No, they don't.
They don't
And they keep
stop.
bringing it up. And here's the thing. She's told her story to Diane, and Diane is all too happy to give her a platform to stick it to.
Because
and
she's in the same boat.
Yeah, because
she got thrown out too.
She's in the same boat. And, you know, Sin is always welcome to come talk to Mandi or to come up and tell her side. And that's what we told her, or that's what you told her. All the other stuff, you know, I know what texts say. You know, when Mandi gets a text, she'll show them to me. I don't hear what Mandi talks to people on the telephone. It's completely different. I don't violate that.
But just about everybody says, don't tell anybody, but you can tell Sean.
Right. You know, I mean, well, they kind of know.
That's the usual. And it depends on what it is. I use discretion, but he's right. I'll be like, normally, and those of you who've talked to me know that I'm usually doing chicken stuff outside. So you can either hear the chickens or you can hear the peeping. And that actually, people think that's really cute.
Yep.
But yeah, she's not.
And so for you, so friends like of hers, they're my friends too. But
No, not really.
I don't dialogue every day with like Karen and Loretta, and Presley. I know them. I see them. But I'll see this text that Mandi has with them, but I'm not privy to the phone calls. I don't know all the girl talk that y'all talk about. And I don't ask, and she wouldn't tell me anyway. There's some things that it's like, hey, you get to know this. And there's stuff that it's not for me to know. You know, it's for friends.
And also friends. Like YouTube stuff is like different than whatever. But yeah, contrary to popular belief, I know how to hold water. So Mama Ricky, not really bat necessarily Diane. She's been coming back here and there. Look, that whole controversy that no matter how you stand on it, they pretty much hung her out to dry. And the controversy of the money or whatever, that's your own. I mean, she was pretty open early on that she didn't give it all.
Right.
She said that early on. She didn't give every single penny to him. So I don't understand why it turned into such a thing. But I didn't give any money. So for those of you who did, you know, I totally understand why you.
But I mean, and to Diane's credit, you know, she felt, how long was she gone? A couple of years, right? The whole thing started while we were still in Texas.
Yeah, but I mean, I think she would 6-9 months at a time. She pops on every once in a while.
And she pops back on with 300 plus in her chat.
Stitching is right. And Stitching is a pretty cool, middle of the road kind of a person. Randy and Wendy, this is Stitching. Their streams have been so angry. This is the thing that I hear over and over and over again. It's not fun anymore. Y'all are, you're angry at everybody. Someone says something about y'all you don't like, and you go on and on and on. The difference is people are starting to talk about y'all.
Yeah.
And that's the way it goes.
They're starting to talk
don't
about
like that.
Sam and YaBa. And that's the one thing. It's like everybody is waiting for Sam or YaBa.
Yes, Karen.
Everyone's waiting for Randy. When is Randy gonna? I mean, you know, what's her name? Talking about call my mom and this and that. What was it that we thought about that we would want to ask old Wendy over there? You know, she's the beacon of integrity and not doxing people and this and that. Your girls over there.
Let me fix my hair.
They're doxers.
Yeah.
But for some reason, and what do we say? Like we said, Mandi has talked to Sin, and now it kind of makes a little bit more sense that they would be scared to cross YaBa or Sam because of what they may know or what they may have over Randy. That's it.
Just the way it is.
Yeah, it makes sense, though.
You have real life, Mandi. I've seen you put social media away and enjoy your life. Most of the drama is just not that important. Thank you. Definitely, when we go to the in-laws, my phone stays in the car, or I'm not on it. And my friends know that. The other thing that I was going to say is I've talked to several people, because this is the way it works, that Randy has had falling outs with, whether they were friends for a long time or a short time. And that's my prerogative. That's up to me. Randy talks on the low to everyone, so it's whatever.
Especially if she's scared you're going to say something about her, she'll slide straight into your DMs. Several of our people know that. The most latest one was Paula, so she shows up here, or she's in the chat. She may be listening. She knows, and I told her that Randy would do that. She was like, "Oh my God, she sure did."
Oh, you mean from a few months ago?
Yeah,
yeah. Paula wanted to review one of her streams, and Randy was all shook about it and said, "Well, I'm going to review yours or whatever." And then something happened, and it didn't even happen. But what I was going to say was, with these several people that were friends and they're no longer friends, the common thing is if you're like, okay, so did you get along with Wendy? Did you like Wendy? They're always like, no. I just dealt with her because she was Randy's friend. Or I just dealt with her because she was Diane's And there's a slew of people that will say, I like her. Fair enough. I'm telling you, it's...
And the way she won't, Wendy doesn't even let Randy, talk about her friendship with Sin. Wendy attacks Sin. Is like, she doesn't respect what Randy and Sin had as friendships. They were close. And, if somebody that you were really close to, here on YouTube, and or one of these moderators that that she's close to, if there was a fallout for something, I don't think I could sit there and just berate them.
Who?
Anybody that you had a close friendship with, and all of a sudden you fall out with them.
There was one that I had a falling out with that we said some pretty bad shit about each other, and we're certainly not friends, nor do we talk. But it felt icky. Yeah. And I think this person would admit that it felt a little icky too. I'm talking about Angela.
Right.
She would probably say...
At some point, you have to just let it be. If it wasn't, like, it's not my friend, it was your friend. Now, and that was a little bit different because she took to the airwaves and tweeted stuff and this and that. But I'm talking about somebody that you're close to that all of a sudden you have a fallout with. They're not really talking about you, but you feel like you want to say something about it on YouTube. I would let you say it. I wouldn't sit there and berate them and vilify them. Like every time that Randy brings it up, and it seems like she's going to do it rationally or maybe reminisce about something. Wendy, don't let it happen. Wendy is very threatened by the friendship that they had. And she's right
there to well, let's be honest, lie for her.
Yeah, and gaslight.
Flat out lie.
And she'd be like, Sin, do you really hate yourself
that
much?
She goes, well, she was trolling herself. Well, that makes me wonder.
Do you really
and
not
she wasn't
like yourself?
Trolling herself.
If you guys
I heard the story. She was not trolling herself.
No, she was telling a story. If you guys want to see the quintessential gaslighting, go on over there when they start talking about somebody in positive negatives or backhanded compliments. It's
how funny, Loretta.
If you want to see narcissism, one of the content creators, the narcissistic qualities, you watch the one. If you want to see gaslighting, you watch the other. It's just a toxic goulash.
Maturity is walking away and being the bigger person. And I have gladly admit that hasn't always been the case for me. But one thing that I didn't do was do Samantha is fucking nerdy, as she has done me ever since we had a falling out. I wasn't talking about her when we were at the apartment. She was on constantly sniping us, doing whatever. But you know what? That's YouTube. You talk shit about people, whether you think fair use covers reviews or not. It's whatever. But it went on and on. And then it ramped back up again, even though people were saying we don't give a shit about them. Quit reviewing their streams. Nobody fucking cares. She kept doing it. Until she, and
she got the farm's attention.
Even Kiwi Farms was like, we don't give a shit about Sean and Mandi.
They're over there. But they're doing this. They're doing that. Well, they're OGs of their community. But beyond that, they're going to explain to us what color egg a chicken lays or whatever.
Exactly. It's and honestly, that's probably what's, we were trying to do that and turn the other cheek when going on and on. Oh geez. Is that really her?
Is that her?
Where did that picture
No, it could be easily. It could be
Who's this? Is that real? No, I won't tell where it came from, but is that real? Is it?
You guys
I don't care. I'll show it. I mean, what
you
does it
guys are
matter?
crazy. See what slips into our DMs or slips into our texts when
I know the one's not real, but
Yeah.
did she take? Oh, and Samantha lost because she was sick. She said.
Oh yeah.
So she licks her wounds for a day, and then she goes, "You guys, I'm still a little sick."
And she's in there going, "You guys know I would have kicked that ass if I was feeling better."
That's what she was
I know.
saying. And then she tried to double talk
Joss
and
is
say,
like I said.
I wanted to make sure that the judge had heard both cases. Whatever the hell she's talking about. What are you talking about?
So anyway, Joss sent that just right now.
If you want to get on her distro list, send her a DM.
And Presley's right behind her. I'm looking at who is that? I think that's Samantha Presley.
With her girlfriend on
With her girlfriend.
With her
betrothed. Well, I mean, it's better that she has a picture of YaBa on her wall and not a picture of Clara and a picture of Callie.
Look, it looks like we've got one of Wendy or Randy's trolls. You're talking about their channel with your whole 87 people, yet their channel has over 300 people on a slow night. Let me ask you this. Then why the shit do they bring the whole show to a screeching halt to talk about us?
Yep, they do.
Right?
Yep.
Our whole 87 people, apparently it's interesting enough for them to review it because they know they're low down dirty bitches.
Because we're boring and, well, you're over here watching us, but most people come in to watch us just to watch us.
Oh, and Charlie, Charlie I was in here the other day? She was the giver of the accused stolen bracelet.
Really?
So, yeah, she gave the bracelet to Randy, and Randy is convinced that Sin stole it while they were in their hotel room when they met up that night.
Oh.
So she's like,
Yeah,
I think Sin took it. So Charlie has a vested interest because she was the bracelet giver.
Loretta's like, why are you hating on our 87 people? That's right.
87 people's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, if you should be over there with the other 300 on a slow night. 300 is a good night for them, unless they're.
Well, no, but I'm glad that they get 300 because even if it's talking shit about the stuff we say, the fact 300 people want to watch it.
If there's 300 people watching Randy and Wendy and watch Wendy gaslight people and Randy do her stuff. 300 people, 400, 500 people that watched her treat Sin the way she treated her. And one by one, they start coming forward.
Are you a troll or is that you, Stevie? Let me wait. That's Steve. This is Stevie. I don't care about what Stevie looks like. Let's see when Stevie joined. They've probably been around for a while. 2018. So they're one of the hardcore Sims. Do you notice I didn't hide or remove it? I've read it.
I pinned it.
It's beautiful. I really do appreciate your input. It's all good. Mandy and Sean are boring.
I know. We are. We're very boring. That's what Kiwi Farm says too.
You know that people would be incredible. Like if we've always said this, but if they could hear the mundane shit that we talk about, laugh about too, but just hashtag 300. See, do y'all know what that is? See, you inadvertently said 300 and then you invoked.
Josh says 300 on a slow night. Wow, goals. 300. I mean, and I think when people say that, Stevie is obviously a fan. 300 on a slow night, and they do about 5 times the content that most creators do.
Yeah.
I mean, they're on all the time, sometimes every day.
And used to, when Sam would review us, even though we're boring, she would have like 800 people, something like that.
Yep.
So
we're here to tell you that, if Sam's
it's Chantel's body. Okay. I was like, what? Thank you. It says, Mandy, Sean, you may be boring, but you're fun boring, and you make good eye candy.
And we know.
Have y'all found our...
I thought about this, and, I shared this with Mandy. I'll share it with y'all. I mean, we've been around for a while. We've had our times where our channels have drawn people and stuff, and you guys know that. My channel drew people. She was on other, streams in other channels with the boardroom and stuff where it drew people. We get it. We don't draw that anymore on the regular because we're not trying to stay in the fuck shit. But people know that we've been here and we've done that. And you'd be surprised at the people that come out of the woodwork when they have a falling out or when they're beefing with somebody or whatever. A lot of times they just want some information that they think we have, and we're not going to give it to them. But there's a lot of people that check in with this gal right here.
Unless they ask real nicely.
Yeah.
Then we might.
Depends on how much, we dislike the other person.
Yeah. But don't never fear. There are always friends to be had when you get trashed. And for as mean as it was, I have to say, when we used to say, I can't wait till Randy turns on Sin, that's going to be epic. That was fucked up. And especially now that I know what person she is,
really
that was fucked up to say that, because she's a human being, right? Randy's a human being.
Right.
So I'm not discounting that. She's a lying ass human being. But Sin is is a good person. Period.
And yes,
I don't care what she said about me in the past. I don't care what she said about Sean in the past.
The things that she told Mandi, it's like the truth will do. It's not like she was telling a bunch of accolades. She had nothing to gain, or didn't make herself look good, tried to make herself look better or embellish anything. She just said, this is what happened here. This is what happened
and
here.
I didn't snatch her up and put her on a pan. I mean, and I'm not, nothing wrong with Diane. She wanted Diane. She hosted her because she wanted to tell her side. I didn't snatch her up and stick her on a panel and do whatever.
The other thing about Randy, there'd be 300
Have
people.
a good night, Presley. It's good to see you.
See you, Presley. People are there for it. They're there to watch Randy. Randy is a very angry individual, and a lot of people will agree that she used to not be so angry.
Right.
Very, very angry. It's not she doesn't do very many chill streams anymore. And as long as she's angry, as long as she's talking bad about people, as long as she's, slinging the mud, there's always going to be people in it.
Exactly.
There's always going to be more people to watch in a drama community.
Exactly.
But let her try to redo her channel and do like true crime again, or do something else, or something other than drama, and watch those people dry up.
Exactly.
That's just what it is.
Yeah.
Like Josh said, goals. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't think, 300 isn't a ton. I think, by the way, doesn't Diane still pull in 400 and some odd?
Diane.
She's been off the grid forever. Mama Ricky, I understand what you said. She's always thought that Diane was pretentious. Some people think that. I don't think that's anywhere near what Wendy is.
No, yeah. Diane, that's what Diane and Wendy was a pretty good channel, because they both do have a pretentious attitude, both of them, and they bounced off each other really well. Now with Randy and Wendy, you've got two significant type of toxic personalities that are in there together, and you see them.
Neither one who nobody else would continually co-host with them. The two of them are made for each other.
They are made for each other.
Nobody else would do that. And I believe, and a lot of people do, Wendy really believes she's the brightest person in the room. She judges everybody. And I think that she really thinks she's better than anybody else. And you don't have to take my word for it. There are a lot of people that say that. And that's fine. That's your shtick. At least we gave you something to review.
Yeah, we don't watch them all the time, but when they're really, going off on some quagmire, people will say, hey, they're really going down a quagmire. We'll turn them on. A lot of those 300 people are like, watch this shit. We
usually though, people be like, oh my God, listen to what they said about you. And I'll be ready to talk about it. And it was 3 days ago.
Right.
We just had found out 3 days ago. And it was like I've always said, you guys, the most fun is when you have an opinion about someone, you voice it. If you don't listen to the response, Lisa, Randy is extremely angry. She didn't used to be that way. She's always been a piece of work, but she didn't used to be so angry.
She was angry, and she seems a bit paranoid about. She's got to keep Sam and YaBa aren't doing her any favors right now by calling themselves, like they're not mad at them, they're friends still. But there's usually a reason for that. But
I've been saying that forever. I've been saying, what does Sam and YaBa have on you, Randy? I've been saying it for way before Sin. So don't think I talked to her about anything. Yeah, it's one thing, and most people know what it's from.
Yeah, when you have somebody that was so close to you, and you treat them as vilely as you treated Sin, Randy, they are they're hurt, but after a while, they're ready to talk. They're ready to talk.
She thought of you like a sister, Randy. She really thought of you like a sister. So she contributed to your needs like a sister would. And then when it didn't fit you anymore, and you didn't want to take responsibility for what you had done, some fuck shit, mainly Wendy, then you threw her under the bus. She had to go. It's fucked up. but we have to go to bed.
We do.
He got up at 4 o'clock yesterday morning. He worked. He got up 4 o'clock this morning. He worked.
And I didn't take a nap in between. Yesterday I worked.
People will be, look,
All
of the people that love us, like, joking, not love, but they'll be like, who the fuck cares when you woke up? And I'm like, I do. Right?
Yeah. We had a fun weekend.
We did have a fun weekend.
We had a fun
It was
weekend.
worth it. It was worth it. I'm the one that makes sure he gets enough sleep when he's had a couple of days of not getting enough sleep.
And see, when I become sleep deprived, sometimes I think she thinks I'm real close to saying something she doesn't want me to say. So she's like, no, we've given them enough for tonight.
Oh, yeah. I'm always going to protect my friends, even if, we just became friends and I know some shit.
I know
some shit.
Good night. Hey, Sean, I may be coming down to
Oh my gosh.
last week of the season. My old roommate got me seats versus the
You
Braves.
have to stay with us.
So that would be like late September, of course.
That will be epic. Come stay with us. We've got a nice guest bedroom.
We do.
Thank you to the mods for being here.
Thank you, yeah.
And your support. And I'm literally mean, I know it's when to mod is like, it's not as bad as it used to be, but it used to have its own issues. But not so much since Sam went down the poop chute.
Yeah.
She's not coming out of this one.
No,
You're going to have to go slither to another. It may not even be YouTube. You need to slither somewhere else.
Yeah, there's a pretty good chance that she's going to, rally rally her troops and say nobody talk about any of these people again, and they'll try to swerve into another direction.
She said that on advice of legal counsel, she's no longer talking about it after she did an entire 2 fucking live streams about it.
Yeah.
Manning, get your girl under control.
Get
You're
your
looking
girl.
silly. You're looking like a clown.
Yeah. YaBa, you grab one arm, Manny, you get the other arm. And
I mean, I think it's going to be really fantastic when YaBa marries Sam, because then she's going to have to pay her to get her out of her life.
Yeah.
And she's going to have to get a court order to get her out of the house.
Well, if you were in North Carolina, I have just a lawyer for you, but sorry, it's not in North Carolina.
We love you guys.
See you guys.
Samantha, quit filing shit against people in Indiana. It ain't that serious.